Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillah walhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. We start by praising Allah Azza wa Jal, the King, the Master, the Sustainer, and we send peace and blessings upon His beloved Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, our beloved Habib, our beloved Prophet salawatu rabbi wa salamu alayhi. My dear respected brothers and sisters, it's already been 1 week. It's already been a week since I stood here before you. A week from the blessed month of Ramadan, from the greatest month of the year, has already passed. And my brothers and sisters, for those that were here a week ago, for those that were here for the talk, we spoke about the blessings of Ramadan, and we spoke about how Ramadan was a gift, it was a ni'mah. And we also spoke and we touched upon the fact that Ramadan is a race. And there's 1.6, 1.7 billion Muslims, and they're racing in this race. Where are you, my brother and my sister, in this race? 1 week has passed. Everyone needs to question himself. Umar ibn al-Khattab says, judge yourself before you are judged before Allah Azza wa Jal. So every single one of us, my brothers, 1 week has passed. Where am I? Where am I in this race? Already, my brothers, already we're a week into it. And there are people that I know that have already done khatam of the Quran. They've already finished the Quran 2, 3 and 4 times. Already there are brothers that I know of personally, already 3, 4 hours tahajjud every single night. Already, my brothers, the race is on. It's not a joke. Game is on. So where are we? A week has passed. And it's important for us to evaluate ourselves. Where am I? And my brothers and sisters, in every race, what does everyone want? We want shortcuts. Everyone wants to get to the top, but we want shortcuts. Today the shabab, when they go to the gym, eat right and go to the gym. Jump on the cycles, actually get on the juice, Atini steroids, he wants to blow up in a couple of weeks. He wants to be Arnold Schwarzenegger. No one wants to do the long yards anymore. No one wants to do the long yards. Today, my brothers and sisters, I'm here to give you the cheats. Today, I'm here to give you the secrets. Wallahi, it's the little things. If you do it, you will reach to the top. You will reach to the top in a very, very short span of time. And you know what it is, my brothers and sisters? It's the dhikr of Allah Azza wa Jal. Wallahi, it's an act, an ibadah that has becoming more and more. It's becoming less in our lives. To remember Allah Azza wa Jal, to mention Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a ni'mah, my brothers. It's such a small action. Such a small action, but it's massive in the eyes of Allah Azza wa Jal. Musa alayhi salatu was salam, and we know Musa was a prophet that spoke directly to Allah. Musa had a relationship with Allah, he spoke directly to him. So Musa, my brothers and sisters, Malish, give me your hearts. Musa one day was speaking to Allah Azza wa Jal, and he asked Allah, he said, oh Allah, give me a special dua. I want a special dua. I want something unique between you and I. So Allah Azza wa Jal says to Musa, he says, oh Musa, say, قُلْ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. So Musa says, he says, oh Allah, I already say La ilaha illallah. And all the prophets that came before me, they also said La ilaha illallah. Ya Allah, I want something special, and I wanted something unique for me. So Allah Azza wa Jalla says to Musa, my brothers and sisters, He says, oh Musa, if the 7 heavens and the earth were placed on one end of the scale, and La ilaha illallah was placed on the other, La ilaha illallah would be heavier. Billah alaik, my brothers and sisters, honestly, how much of your day has passed where you could have said La ilaha illallah and increased your scales and you didn't do it? Everyone's looking for the knockout punch. Everyone wants the big KO. Ya akhi, to land the king hit, to land the KO, you got to throw a few jabs in the middle. And these are the jabs you throw. Imagine for saying La ilaha illallah, this one word, this one statement. He says, Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying it's heavier than the 7 heavens and the earth. The Prophet of Allah, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says, look at the amazing hadith. Look, he says what? He says, kalimatan khafifatan ala al-lisan كلمتان حبيبتان ضيعتوني هلا كلمتان خفيفتان على اللسان حبيبتان إلى الرحمن ثقيلة في الميزان. What? Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, Subhanallah al-Azim. Look at the hadith, amazing. The Prophet of Allah is saying, he says there are two words. They're very light on the tongue. Yani it's very easy to say, very light on the tongue. He says, but they're heavy on the scales. And they're loved by the Rahman. What are they? Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, Subhanallah al-Azim. Authentic hadith. This one hadith, my brothers, wallahi, you can talk for hours about it. You know, sometimes you fall in love with someone. For those of you, let's not all act so righteous. I'm sure everyone once in his life was in love. We've all watched a movie or heard a song or something. That wallah, extreme love, وحب ورمية وجولية وليلى ومجنون وما بعرف شو. Allahu Akbar, حب روح فيها صلاة يعني. And when you're in love, bro, what do you want to do the most? I want to know the right words. Have you seen the extent? A love movie, if you've ever watched a love movie, yeah, mate, it's so over-dramatized. He couldn't sleep the nights. He cannot work anymore. Love. He's gone. And to find the words, you know, sometimes when you love someone, you want to impress this person that I love. So you find poetry and the nights and the stars and your eyes are brighter than this, and you long for the right words, so I can say to this person that I love, to prove to them that I love them. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is telling you the words that Allah loves to hear. He's giving you the recipe. What are they? He says, Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, Subhanallah al-Azim. And he says they're heavy on the scales. One of the mashayikh was speaking about this particular hadith. He says, how heavy are we talking, man? Are we talking a couple of kilos? Are we talking 1,000 kilos? What? He says, whatever you imagine, however much you imagine it to weigh on the day of judgment, it will be heavier. Sisters, when they're cooking their food, Allahu Akbar, Subhanallah, bihamdi, Subhanallah al-Azim. You're driving to work, you're on the train, whatever you're doing. We have so much free time in the month of Ramadan. I can be making dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Allahu Akbar rewards. You cannot imagine it, my brothers and sisters. You cannot imagine it. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, Subhanallah al-Azim. La ilaha illallah. To say La ilaha illallah. The Prophet of Allah, he tells us that when he was on his journey, Al-Isra wal-Ma'raj, and he went up to the fourth heaven, he says, I met Ibrahim alayhi salatu was salam. And Ibrahim alayhi salatu was salam, imagine a prophet. He says to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, give salams to your ummah on my behalf. And it's a sunnah to return the salam to Ibrahim. Imagine a prophet is sending you salams from another time, from another nation. And then he says to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, tell your people, tell your ummah, that Jannah has already been divided. And tell them that the soil is fertile and the water is sweet. And tell them, Ya Muhammad, tell them, O Prophet of Allah, tell your ummah, he's talking to you and I, my brothers and sisters. He says, and tell your nation that for every subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar, for them is a tree in Jannah. But what sort of tree are we talking? Are we talking like this tree you see outside here, this nice gum tree you see when you walked in? The Prophet of Allah, he says it would take an Arabian horse. 100 years travel and he wouldn't cross the shadow of that tree. You know how much 100 years running is? I actually jumped on Google. I actually did the maths work. It's something like 44, sorry. This horse, at 100 years running, it would run around the earth 1,444 times. And your one tree in Jannah is bigger than this. Imagine for subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. You're going to need every leba tree lapa in the world to bring the tree down. And they're not going to bring it down. You have a golden opportunity to plant your seeds now. This is the month of Quran, my brothers. This is the month. Everyone wants love and love. What better love story? What better book? What better connection He says, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says, for every letter you read, for you is 10 hasanat. And he says, I do not say that alif lam mim. He says, no, he's saying that I'm not saying that. He's saying for every letter. He says, for alif there is 10, for lam there is 10, for mim there is 10. And then Allah Azza wa Jal multiplies. To make dhikr, my brothers, to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This shows godliness, consciousness, that I'm God conscious. I'm aware of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To continuously make dhikr. Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. The Prophet of Allah, my brothers, he tells us, look, it's the little things. Today the Muslims are looking for the big things. Everyone wants the big things. Why? Sometimes it's the little things that matter. The Prophet of Allah, he tells us, whoever prays his salah, alhamdulillah, all of us he pray. Yeah? He says, whoever prays his salah, after every salah, whoever reads Ayat al-Kursi, Ayat al-Kursi, it's a verse from Surah Al-Baqarah, from chapter 2, verse 255. 7 little segments, one verse. The most powerful verse in the Quran. Ayat al-Kursi. He says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, whoever reads Ayat al-Kursi after every salah, he says the only thing that will stand between him and Jannah is death. Allahu Akbar. He says the only thing that will stand between you and Jannah, my brother and my sister, is what? Is death. Yani if you bring this into your life and you make it concrete in your life, and after every salah, you read that, he says the only thing between you and Jannah is death. Allahu Akbar. He says, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, your Habib, look, my brothers, he's teaching us. He's teaching us, wallahi, he's teaching us the tricks, the shortcuts. He says, whoever prays his salah. Sometimes we think, oof, we got to do extras. Yeah, it's not extras. Manahna, you're praying anyway. Aren't you praying anyway? Yeah? But after your salah, sit there for 5 minutes. Take from the vault. Take from the safe of Allah and go do whatever you're doing. He says, after every salah, whoever says Subhanallah 33 times, then Alhamdulillah 33 times, then Allahu Akbar 33 times, and then wraps it up and makes it 100 by saying La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah lahu mulk wa lahu alhamd wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. Allah Azza wa Jal will forgive your sins even if they're equivalent, even if they're as much as the froth of the ocean. Isn't this what we're after? Isn't this what we're after, my brothers? Aren't we after the forgiveness of Allah? Look how easy it is. But you know what's funny? It's the little things that we don't do. I'm sure everyone here has already heard this hadith and already knows about it. But why can't we bring it into our lives? Why? Because shaitan keeps you busy. Keeps us busy. No, my brothers and sisters. This is the month of ibadah. This is the month of dhikr. And by doing these little things, my brothers and sisters, you reach levels. You reach ranks. So inshallah ta'ala, do not waste your time, my brothers and sisters. Like we said, the race is on. Wallahi, the race is on. Every night, my brothers and sisters, like we said last week, every night, Allah Azza wa Jal looks down upon His ummah. And Allah Azza wa Jal chooses. Have we lost this, my brothers? Have we lost what this means? Allah looks down every night in Ramadan and chooses those people and says, you, hellfire has been made haram on you. Don't waste these moments. So please, my brothers and sisters, let's kick into gear. If you haven't started, tonight's the night, inshallah. Let's kick into gear. Get dhikr of Allah Azza wa Jal. And for the sisters too, you know, you don't have to be in wudu. Sometimes for the sisters, they go through their cycles and she feels like, you know what, I'm disconnected from Allah. No, you can still make dhikr of Allah Azza wa Jal. You can still remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You don't have to be in wudu. You don't have to be in a special location. Anywhere, anytime, any place, keep your tongue busy. Whoever makes salah on Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam once. Whoever says Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Whoever says this once, Allah Azza wa Jal will do it 10 times on you. So my brothers and sisters, let's not waste this time and make the most of every minute that you have. Jazakallah khairan, subhanakallah wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, nastaghfiruka.